Hi, it's Kerry. Show you another card today. This one here. The items I used are Girlfriends stamp set from My Favourite Things and the coordinating dies. I used a stencil, also from My Favourite Things. This one's called Sun Ray. Ink pads I used were Versamark and some distressed oxides. I've used Mermaid, Lagoon and Faded Jeans, and blending tools for those. And you need an embossing buddy, some white embossing powder and a heat tool, a shimmer mist. I used a champagne coloured shimmer mist, just a homemade one, but I thought for the video I might try out some white shimmer mist and see how that looks on it. And my finishing touch, the accessories I used were some clear epoxy shapes, round shapes. The card, I used a piece of thick white cardstock which measures 8.5 centimeters wide by 12.8 centimeters long. A piece of black matting to go behind that so it's slightly wider, 8.8 by 13.1. And my base card is a pale blue. This is Soft Sky from Stampin' Up. That's a 29.7 by 10.5, or A4 piece cut in half, and I've scored that in half to make a top fold. And then I just had a piece of white paper which I stamped a whole bunch of the fish on to colour in and cut out. So we'll start with the background piece with the distress oxides. So on the piece of thick white card, and I like to use the thick white card for distress oxide inks just because I'm being reasonably heavy-handed when I blend them in and I don't want the paper to buckle. So I'm starting with Faded Jeans, which is the darker colour. Just ink that up. And because I'm using the glass matte, the glass media matte, I don't need to have anything protecting my work surface underneath because it cleans off really easily. But if you haven't got the glass matte, you'll need something underneath to keep your surface clean for later. I want to go reasonably dark. Faded Jeans, and then I'll change to Mermaid Lagoon, and I'll just grab a little piece of paper to protect so I don't get any fingers all over it, and just start at the other end. You can use any combination of blue inks that you like, or one colour if you really want to. I just wanted to have that sort of effect where the water gets progressively darker. Put that on, and then just come back with the Faded Jeans and just blend that join. Love distress oxides and how easily and well they blend together. So once I'm happy with that, move those out of the way and just clean off my work surface. Okay, so now to put in the effect of the sunlight, the beams of sunlight coming down through the water. And I didn't notice on this particular card when I made it until after it was all finished that I'd done it upside down. I was meant to have the lighter colour at the top. So we'll get it right this time. So for that I used my stencil. I couldn't think of any other way. I guess you could do masking to get the beams of light coming down, but this was a much easier method. The only disadvantage, of course, is because of the size of the stencil, the beams only come down a certain distance. But I just got around that by making sure that I placed a fish at the bottom so that it wasn't obvious. So I'm just going to put some paper towel down to pick this area surface, only because I'm using shimmer mist, and that sparkly stuff, if you've ever used it, you'll know, goes everywhere when I don't want it to get too bad. So I just place that and I sort of put it like that. Sunbeam, some of the beams, I might just do it a bit further up this time. And just in case, I also didn't want the shimmer mist to go down on this bottom section here, so I just covered that up as well. So I thought, as I said, I thought we'll try out the white shimmer mist. Now, of course, the Distress Oxide inks, as you know if you've ever used them, are, the oxidization is activated by water. So you could use water, and I've got a sample one here of what I did with water, and it will give you that softer light effect as well. But I love the idea of having it shimmery and glitzy. I don't know whether you can see that, whether that shines. I'll try and sort of catch a bit of light, hopefully. But my beams are all shimmery and sparkly, and it looks really lovely in real life, not in camera land. So I'll just cover that up, and we'll give it a try. If you're doing this at home, of course, remember to use a well ventilated area, because there is rubbing alcohol in here. So I'm just going to spritz. Whew. Fumes. And just leave that for a few minutes for it to work. The alcohol dries quite quickly, but it will have that effect. It has the same effect as water in that it lightens the Distress Oxide inks and gives sort of a little bit of a texture kind of a look to it as well, which I really like. Okay, let's take that away. I'll clean that up in water later on. Let's set that aside to dry. So that's coming up quite nice. I quite like the white one, although it's not as shimmery as the champagne, or it shimmers in a different kind of a way. But it looks quite nice nonetheless. If you wanted to, of course, you could add a few water drops, and maybe we'll do that. Just a bit of a spray with water to try and get some. Actually, I'll tell you what I might just do is, that might be. There we go. Alright, and we could heat that with the heat tool to fasten up the process, and you'll find if you do, when you do heat it, or even as it dries naturally, that the oxidation, gets to try that again, oxidization goes just a little bit further, and it lightens a little more and gives a really nice effect. So I'll just put that aside to dry, and we can look at the fish. So as I said, I just stamped a whole bunch of fish. I used Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I coloured them with alcohol markers, and then just cut out a few with the matching dies so that I could pick and choose which ones I wanted to have on my card. Remembering that I wanted some coming from each direction. So we could try something a little bit different from the last card maybe. Now, so just place them, just work out where you're going to put them and have it strategically. Well, that one's not so bad, that's this one. Work out where you want to have them. Coming from each direction, so we might put the little clownfish. No, that's a bit too, maybe not, that's a bit close. I love this blowfish, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Could have one up there, but he blends in a little bit. Maybe this one, and I can have my sentiment in there. That might work. So once that's dry, you need to work out where your sentiment's going to go. So I'm going to put birthday fishes. Okay, so I'm quite happy I'm going to put it in there. So just a bit of embossing buddy. Stamping with Versamark. And white embossing powder. Chalk away. Alright, so that is ready to attach to the black piece. Base card. And I like to put that up, so put some mounting tape. Okay. Alright, so it's back to where we had our fish. That one's going to go there. There. How's that? Or do we need another one there? Oh, I like that. Okay. Okay, and then a few of the clear epoxy shapes, which look a little like a little air bubble. Oh, and I have such trouble with these things. They stick better to me than they do to the tweezers. Inky fingers. Okay, let's have and there. I'm not good with tiny shapes, and half the time they end up sticking to me. Is 3 enough? Yes, that'll do. There's plenty of fish on there. Right, there we go, all finished. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed seeing this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up down below and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Bye.